sensible, responsible economic vision and wanted to work with the Inter-American Development Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank. And thus I was particularly shocked to come back to Washington to find a U.S.-imposed freeze on all of those institutions.
How many people know that if you don't have that kind of aid, you have no money for the infrastructure, you have no money to clean up the water, you have no money for the police, you have no money for the fire, and while Mr. Aristide has been blamed for not doing anything about poverty, do you understand how he was strangled by the lack of aid, bilateral or otherwise? How many people understand that?
Let me speak as a macroeconomist to say that it's even worse than that, because they drained him of foreign exchange reserves as he continued to service the debts to the international institutions. The exchange rate collapsed, the inflation rose, and the economy collapsed. And that was the deliberate result of the strangulation of aid.
Well, I hope we can get rid of some of the lies and misconceptions about all of this money that has gone to the government when in fact it has not. And I don't want to hear that said anymore. So I just wanted to get that on the record.
The gentlelady's time has expired.
Thank you so very much.
By withdrawing all financial aid, not only from the United States, France, Canada, the European Union, but also the United States using its considerable power in the Inter-American Development Bank, the World Bank, and the IMF, using all of those to create a full-scale economic embargo. So not one penny of money went to the Haitian government between the year 2000 and February 29, 2004.
Without shutting off all assistance to the Western Hemisphere's poorest country, it would have not been possible to, to have such a small number of even heavily armed people sweep through Haiti.
The United States wanted to prevent Haiti to go through a democratic process. They gave weapons to thugs from Santo Domingo to Haiti. They went to kill people. Every year, they spent about 55 million US dollars, and last year it went up to 70 million US dollars financing thugs, convicted people, political parties.
Even James Dobbins, who worked in Haiti on behalf of both the Clinton and Bush administrations and is now a consultant for the Rand Corporation in Washington, acknowledges the mistake.
I think that the decision to cut off all assistance to Haiti in 2000, a decision which wasn't just American, by the way, but which Europe agreed to, is directly responsible for the disintegration of Haitian institutions and the weakness which would allow 200 armed criminals to overthrow the government.
And as James Dobbins suggests, it is not only the U.S. government that has been blamed for Haiti's descent into chaos. For Napoleon's France, Haiti was the Republic's most valuable colony in the New World, capable of generating immense wealth on the backs of the island's enslaved population of Africans. By the summer of 1800, however, a freed slave named Toussaint Louverture had taken advantage of the constant skirmishes between the Spanish and French to form a formidable army of his own. In January of 1801, Toussaint expelled the European powers from Haiti, freed the slaves, created a constitution, and became governor of the island. Napoleon, however, would not be denied, and behind an invasion the following year forced Toussaint to lay down his arms and retire. A few weeks later, Haiti's first liberator was accused of plotting an uprising, kidnapped and sent to France, where he died in a prison in April of 1803. The French refused to formally recognize Haiti as an independent nation, and the island's inhabitants lived in constant fear of their former colonizer. In 1825, the French sent 14 warships into the harbor of Port-au-Prince, and under the threat of reoccupation and restitution of slavery, coerced Haitian President Jean-Pierre Boyer to pay France 90 million gold francs in exchange for diplomatic recognition. The debt has been a stranglehold on the Haitian economy ever since. In an attempt to remove this burden, on the bicentennial of Toussaint's death in April of 2003, in a bold and desperate speech, Aristide called upon France to return the money, which his government calculated to equal over $21 billion.
Il nous faut, premièrement, restitution, deuxièmement, réparation. Parce qu'en 1825, sous le gouvernement de Boyer, nous avons dû payer 90 millions de francs or à la France. Aujourd'hui, nous réclamons au moins la valeur capitalisée pour l'année 2003, soit 21 milliards 685 millions 135 571,48 $ US.
C'est vrai qu'au cours du XIXe siècle, la France a négocié très dur les conditions de la reconnaissance diplomatique d'Haïti et a imposé à ce gouvernement, ce qu'on ne pourrait évidemment absolument plus faire aujourd'hui, de payer une dette pour les spoliations des colons français. Enfin, ce sont des choses qui seraient inconcevables aujourd'hui et qui ont lourdement pesé sur l'économie d'Haïti pendant tout le XIXe siècle. Mais ça appartient à l'histoire, on ne peut pas revenir sur des conditions historiques qui ne seraient plus du tout les mêmes aujourd'hui, pas plus qu'on ne pourra demander aux Espagnols de payer, de faire des réparations pour les crimes commis par les conquistadors. Tout ça n'a pas de sens, l'histoire tourne.
For President Aristide, however, historical injustices cannot be so easily forgotten.
I ask respectfully to France, on behalf of the Haitian government and the Haitian people, to be paid, because this money belongs to the people of Haiti.
To press the issue with France, the Aristide government ran commercials like this one on Haitian national television, connecting an historical injustice with Haiti's current economic crisis.
Aujourd'hui, la France est là pour coopérer, elle va coopérer avec Haïti, elle souhaite le faire, développer cette coopération, mais pas à la suite d'un calcul de boutiquier, inspiré d'ailleurs par des avocats américains, rembourser un argent qu'elle ne considère pas devoir.
There's no doubt that the issue of reparations irked the French a good deal, no matter what they said. And I personally worked on the reparations case. I was the lawyer who was going to bring the action on behalf of the Haitian government on reparations. And I can tell you the Haitian government had a very strong case that would have embarrassed the French government. They knew it, despite their denials and saying, oh, this is nonsense and so forth. They were so concerned about it that they stole legal documents. Their consul in Haiti somehow got internal legal documents regarding the claims that were going to be made against the French government. So as much as they were saying publicly that this was something that was not that important, they were busy trying to find out everything they could about the action that was going to be brought against them.
The difference between the Haitian case for restitution is that it is a strong legal case as well. Haiti was the subject of multiple trade and diplomatic embargoes from 1804 on. Haiti's claims, even 100 years ago, they were outlined in legal documents and treaties, and the threat of force was used to, and restoration of slavery, was used to push Haiti into signing these unfavorable agreements with France.
Burkhardt is familiar with Farmer's criticism.
Ah oui, Paul Farmer a été un soutien inconditionnel d'Aristide sur ce dossier de la réparation. C'est un peu dommage parce que Paul Farmer est une grande figure, quelqu'un qui a fait un travail admirable en Haïti, mais il s'est lancé dans cette histoire avec une naïveté qui nous a tous surpris et il a suivi les idées d'Aristide à un point absolument incroyable, car en fait ces idées ne tenaient pas debout.
For Rico Dupuis, a Haitian journalist for Radio Soleil, Aristide's request was a mistake.
Look, you don't fight two major powers at the same time. They're going to come at you with full strength, full force. That may have been the mistake of Aristide. Not that Aristide's demand is illegitimate. Haiti has a valid case for restitution.
When I met with President Chirac twice, I openly and respectfully said we would wish that we could celebrate together those 200 years of freedom as universal value. And he said yes. But as we know in diplomacy, sometimes you say yes to do the opposite.
C'est une situation particulière. Aucun pays en Amérique, aucun pays en Amérique latine, aucun pays dans les Caraïbes n'a eu à subir cette extorsion de fonds qu'a subi Haïti, qui a hypothéqué gravement et sévèrement son développement économique et social.
Do you think it was unwise for Aristide to press France for reparations?
Evidently, yeah. Evidently, it was very unwise because, you know, let's look at it this way. Was Haiti too poor to ask for help? I mean, that's pitiful. You're basically saying that if you don't have the resources to back you up, you know, legally, militarily, economically, don't bother pressing for justice.
He knew that the government had no money, and I think this was one of the ways in which I think Haiti would have gotten money, quite frankly, from the French government had the case been pursued. So I think he had no other alternative but to pursue other avenues of obtaining funds for Haiti.
With a depleted national treasury and no access to foreign aid, a disbanded army and a police force crippled by the U.S. embargo, an already tenuous security situation in Haiti rapidly deteriorated. In the fall of 2003, a group of so-called rebels, supported by those in opposition to Aristide's presidency and armed with American-made M16s, seized control of the northern Haitian city of Gonaïves and began to move on the capital, Port-au-Prince.
The thugs who had come out of exile, who had taken over Gonaïves and then Cape Haitian, Mr. Guy Philippe, Mr. Louis Jodel Champlain, Mr. Jean Tantou, we didn't feel that they just came in out of the blue. We felt that they were organized, that they came in cooperating with the opposition. We felt that the United States, Canada, and France knew about it, and they literally just used the killers to help pull off the coup d'etat.
Louis Jodel Champlain has been convicted of murder twice. And Guy Philippe, the face of the coup with ties to the U.S. Defense Department, has been implicated in numerous human rights abuses. And according to Ira Kurzban, they armed their insurgency with weapons from the U.S. government.
We have proof, for example, that those rebels were armed with M16s, which the United States had given to the Dominican military a year before in a special operation. We know that the people who were in charge of the so-called rebels, about 80 or 100 of them, first of all, were fully trained and integrated into the Dominican Army, something that the Dominican Army would never do without getting the green light from the Defense Department in the United States.
In order to have a coup, you have to have planning and resources, finances, especially when there's no military in the country anymore, when the military's been demobilized.
Yet, while Aristide's decision to disband the army meant the military could no longer move against the government as it had in 1991, John Shattuck argues it left a dangerous security void.
One thing that Aristide did, which was principled, idealistic in some ways, but I think in the end a big mistake, was to completely abolish the army. And he abolished the army so that there was no Haitian capacity for keeping law and order and security.
Both the Haitian people and the international community, however, welcomed Aristide's decision.
When I came to office, this army, involved in leading coup after coup, led a coup instead of protecting democracy and the rights of the people. When I went back in 1994, this army, after killing more than 5,000 people, the people were asking me to disband the army. I obeyed. In any democracy, within the framework of law, of your constitution, you take care of the will of the people.
But the disbanding of the Haitian army, despite being carried out with the help of the United States and the UN, was incomplete and created new security problems. In addition, the U.S. government imposed a police materials embargo on the Aristide government, crippling even further its capacity to provide security. Secretary Noriega, however, continues to blame Haiti's lack of security on Aristide.
The insecurity, because there was no rule of law in the country was